Avenue in Deer Park. So we're just behind Tanger Outlets, actually.
Right.
We're not in another state or anything. Deer Park train station, just north of Deer Park train station.
So, as is common, a lot of times the guys will come, bring the wives or the kids, send them over to the outlet if they want to go shopping, right?
Just hand them the credit card, make sure it's cooled off so it doesn't go melt right away, and send them on their way.
We'll have tons of entertainment, and we have a live band coming now, and we have food trucks, and Mr. Softy.
Cool.
20 to 25 vendors coming with all kinds of good, cool stuff and giveaways, and so we hope to have everybody come out and enjoy the day. It looks like it might be a beautiful day, so we're excited.
Well, we're pulling for you. Alex, thank you for coming on, and we wish you the best success and luck with the show. And
I'm going to put that up on the Facebook. I'm going to share that on our Facebook page later. I'll get that over.
Nice of you. Thank you so much.
You got
it. Appreciate that.
Okay, Alex.
All right, bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, so long. All righty, that was Alex and Nick from the next week's show hosted by the Long Island Camaro Club, which is great for autism. All right, fellas, we're going to take a bottom of the hour break. Take a little break. We'll reestablish Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino, Joe D. in with Elliot and Ken. We're talking T-Birds. And Joe, sometimes I just don't care about stuff. So let's see if my musical company will agree with me on that.
Stevens, Super 70s. Steve Mangiaracina.
See, that's what happens. You don't care about protocol, and you pick the wrong things, and you hit people's bridges and liners instead of promos. So anyway, that was a quick break, guys. We're back.
Wow.
Let's get back to T-Birds and talk about
talking T-Birds.
Elliot, I know you got a few things saved up in there that you haven't shared with us. So
my little notes that I always bring.
Yeah, let's get them out. What do you got?
Well, first of all, day of show is $20. For $20, you get a T-shirt, themed T-shirt. We also have goodie bags. First 100 participants get a goodie bag. There's some stuff in there. Advance Auto, I guess we should really talk about them.
Yeah, Advance Auto is a big supporter of Building Homes for Heroes. Mm-hmm. So they've donated over $5 million so far. Okay. And every new store opening, they donate a percentage of the daily intake.
That's great.
Last year, the clubs participated in the opening, I think it was in Bayshore.
Yeah, they were very nice. We got about a dozen cars, and it's their way of saying thank you. They gave us each a bucket of goodies before we left. And what I did is you acquainted to earlier that I reached out to Advanced again.
Okay.
And I said, what can you guys do for us?
Nice.
And I first asked them for Gelt, Money.
Right.
But no, that was no. They were nice. He says we really don't do that, but he says I get you stuff, and he did. And Dennis this week went to Advance in Holbrook, which I think is their new store, and picked up a couple of buckets to raffle off and some stuff for the for our goodie bags.
That's
and
nice.
Also too goodie bags. Haggerty is a big help to us too. They give us their goodie bags, the bags to put the stuff in, and a few other trinkets to put in the bags. And Gregory, that's their Haggerty rep on Long Island. He will be there. Now, when the young lady called in about vendors, we do the same thing. I mean, they come to me and they say, how much? And I said, it's nothing. I go, really? I said, yes. If you do well, we'll come. Kenny will come around later and put the arm on you. and they usually they come up with some bucks.
They've been very generous.
Yeah, they. Yeah.
Do you guys run a 50-50 raffle as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Of course.
And a cool story that goes back a couple of years ago when it was still at the dealership, we get between $400 and $500 to the winner on an average.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we put all the stuff. We're looking for something to put the raffle tickets in. We find this big box.
Mm-hmm.
So we put it out in front. Now we need some little person to come to the box and move it around and pick a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He picks his mother.
Oh, boy.
He picks his mother out of all those hundreds and hundreds of tickets. Because what we do, too, we sell obviously $1 ticket, but nobody buys $1.
Right.
6 for $5, arm's length for $10. And what we started a number of years ago was a car's length.
Oh, wow.
We used Elliot's car.
They did.
So.
Yes.
They did.
That's about 4,000 tickets right there.
What does a car's length cost?
$20.
That's not bad, because if an
That's
arm is
reasonable.
10.
Yeah.
And then we're generous with the arm too, because I go around and collect. Every one of us has a function. Kenny and Dennis, because we're back to participant judging this year. They will tally up. I go around and put the arm on everybody for the 50-50, you know, and we don't get 50 volunteers. We get enough people to help us park the cars and do the right thing, you know. What's really good is the strip mall itself. Kevin Dennis, who owns the Professor's Diner, he's instrumental in getting us what we've needed over the years. You know, the one year when we realized we couldn't have it at the dealership, and Kevin approached me on a Thursday night. He says, "You can have it here." I said, "Really?" So we get there like 6 a.m.
Diner, good.
Yeah, cordon off 7 rows, and we do our shtick. And also,
great.
we have
Pizza
a
place also donates a gift card.
yes. Gino's Pizza usually gives us a gift card, and
Starting a trend here. I know I'm getting hungry, Joe.
Yeah,
I thought I heard your
right.
stomach rumbling.
and
Yes, all this food talk.
we
Let's
have
talk about cars.
we have a DJ.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a live band up until a couple of years ago.
Who are you using for as a DJ?
Kenny Kojak.
Kenny Kojak. He's at the East Rockaway Cruise Night every Monday.
Every Monday night, yes.
Yes, I see him all the time.
Yes, he's invited me. He says, "Why don't you come down Monday and give out flyers?" Kenny's been with us from the very beginning. Then we had a band that stepped up to the plate. They're gone. They're doing their own thing. But Kenny's back, and
He's a great DJ.
He is
like
a great
I said, I
DJ.
see him at the Monday Night Cruise Nights, and
Yeah, if
he
he's
does
used to doing car shows and stuff, I'm sure he knows what to play.
Yeah.
well, he runs his little trivia during the course.
He does, yeah.
He does. You know, and he gives away his CDs with the oldies but goodies on it. Yeah, a good man. What else? I think I covered most of what we give away. Just to reinforce, our show is next Sunday, July 9th, at the Key Food Shopping Center in Kings Park, 58 Indian Head Road. Hours are 9 to 3. We do not charge for walk-ins, but we look for donations for the charity. Okay.
Always a good idea. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I'll be standing there with the bucket.
Excellent.
and the stick.
and
And possibly the net.
Whatever it takes.
hey, we got to do what we do. You know, I mean, this is a tough year because of we want this to make it work, and since it's very popular because of what we do between the T-Birds and the Fords, you know.
So we give out a lot of trophies, too.
Yes, we do.
That's good. And I think that just because you have the T-Bird contingency, I mean, you guys it's a close-knit group.
Yes.
And let's face it, if anybody has a T-Bird, you're the guy. If I had a T-Bird, you're the guys I'd be coming to, you know, for club support.
Sure.
So I think that's good. You're not going to lose that. I mean, those people are still going to be there. Even if you didn't do the show for a year, they'd say, hey, where'd that show go? And then
Well, you know,
they'll be there for you.
We have a contingent, believe it or not. In the early days of our show, we had a guy and his wife come from Canada with their Retrobird. We get a small group of people that I actually saw in June at the North Jersey show that come from Massachusetts and Connecticut. And every year they come, the same guys. One of them has an interesting vehicle, Neiman Marcus, in 03. If you guys remember, Neiman put up 200 units for sale online, and I think within 2 hours they were gone.
Really?
And you don't see too many of them. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like the Bill Blass edition. You know?
Yes,
Or the
right.
Cartier edition. You know, it's
Yeah, it was-
cutting diamond in the backseat.
Yeah, we've had, yeah. You know, most of the part, everybody has a good time.
Yeah.
You just hope that Mother Nature cooperates.
Of course.
Yeah,
Well,
we always need
that's
that.
the thing. But I was going to say, even with these other people that come from out of state, that's, I think, a testament to Long Island, because I know if that was me, I'd say, hey, you know what? Good reason to spend a weekend on Long Island. Let's go and, you know, get a hotel, maybe down by the beach or
Yeah,
wherever.
there's always some cool car shows going on here
Yeah,
constantly.
Do the show that you're associated with because you have a T-Bird, and then actually spend some time on Long, go out to the East End or whatever. And,
Yeah,
you know,
there's plenty to do
hit
over here.
Queens for a bagel, you know, whatever.
Well, you have to know that in this area, Long Island, I'm sure you guys know, there's like over 60 car clubs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people can't say that. You can't go to Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey and say there's 60 car clubs here, right?
No. And I know this, we don't have 60, but we do have one phone call, so let's push the button and say, hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I got your number.
Ah, wrong number. Okay, sorry.
Whoops.
All right, bye-bye.
Guess you didn't want to talk about cars. Oh, well.
We scared another one, Ray.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
For a second, I thought that was going to be one of our regulars, but
Yeah, me too. Yeah, well.
Well, no, there are a lot of car clubs. There's a lot of car stuff going on Long Island.
Oh, there
Let's
sure
face
is,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not.
No, on a particular Sunday, you could get anywhere from 6 to 10 car shows.
Sure.
Just by opening up Newsday and bingo,
Yeah, that's always a good source of
years
directory.
ago, when we were involved with the President's Council, my thought was we need to have two. We need to have a Suffolk and a Nassau, I think, split the island, and not for means of segregating, but just for means of implementing and being able to oversee it in a better manner. Because guys, like we, guys will call me all the time. Hey, come to our show. Where is it? Well, Bald Hill, or it's in Sagaponack. Like, so it's gonna take me 2 hours to get there.
Sure,
it's not gonna work. Just like they're not gonna come out to New Hyde Park or something that's in Queens.
Right.
So I thought that if maybe there was two bodies that could coexist and commingle, and maybe and actively advertise within each other
and not compete,
and then not compete,
coordinate, not compete.
Yeah.
But when we do come to our council meeting and we sit and you watch. Based on the theme of the show, if it's like I think on Odd Date, you have that show, the Camaro show,
right?
And you also have a Plymouth show.
Okay.
So guys that own T-Birds or Fords are not going to A or B.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's your fault. You started this whole thing, remember?
Yeah, right.
At the council meeting when you stepped up to the plate and said, listen, if anybody wants to come on the radio. Yeah.
We did say that.
We did. And then we raised our hand and that's where it all started.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that was the idea. But, I've often said that. Guys go, Corvette guys, on the given day, if there's a Corvette show, if a guy had a Corvette, wants a Corvette, he's going to go to that Corvette show. He's probably not going to go to the Ford show or to the Plymouth show. He may.
No.
I know guys who've stopped at 3 or 4 shows in a day.
Sure.
Howie. He's done that. But,
yes.
And other guys too, because if they're in a proximity, but for the most part, people go where their brand loyalty is.
Well, what we do too is there's a guy in our club that comes to Kings Park. He creates an Excel spreadsheet. His name is Bob Marquetta, and what he does when we sit down on Thursday nights, I go, "What are we doing this weekend?" And he whips out his spreadsheet, and we kind of pick and choose what we want to do. You know? So.
Well, it's kind of nice to be able to have a choice like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there are some parts of the country where there's nothing going on for like 50 miles or 75
Well,
miles.
let me tell you, I go out west. My dad lives out in Southern California. Mm-hmm. Where would you think better to go to car shows?
Serious.
I haven't been able to go. I haven't seen one out there.
Really?
When I'm out there. Right?
Wow.
Nothing.
You got to go to the Pomona swap meet or something.
Yeah, but just like I figure there's got to be one on a Saturday or Sunday. I'll go out early.
They do a lot of coffee, like cars and coffee things. I know it's big out there.
Yeah. The one close to him was canceled because the merchants didn't like all the traffic.
I think Florida is a big car show area.
Well,
of
with
the
the nice weather, sure.
Yeah.
They do some big ones too.
No, it's what's really sad to beat up a thing from the past that you guys have not been invited.
Yeah.
And I bring it up every year because I hope somebody's listening. And then I would talk to some people, and I don't really want to mention names on
Right, I don't do
or
that.
can I mention it? No.
You can.
It's never
if you
stopped
like.
you before.
No, you can
That's
if you
right.
like.
It's you guys have there's no bottom line for you guys.
No.
You're in this industry along with the rest of us. Why not invite them back to say a few words? And
we're also builders, we're aficionados, we're car owners. We've been in the hobby forever. But I tell you, it was some amount of years ago, and we had gone every year, for a while. And I heard somebody said, hey, we don't want those radio guys here because we don't want the media listening in. Like it's a UN meeting and there's going to be like national security. And I heard that. I said,
And besides that, there's 3 of you listeners out there, so
Yeah.
I don't think you really care, do
So
you?
I said, who is that guy? Give me his name. I want to talk to him. I'm going to give him a private, and they wouldn't give me his name. I'm like, no, I just want to talk to him. I just want to clear. And I said, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I did one of those.
Applies a gesture.
well, there's another guy out here that has again. I've got to be careful with the names. That has 8 million car shows every week.
Yeah.
Right, and he's still at it. And some of the things that he produces have turned to bupkis. He has a thing on Wednesday night at the Hilton in Melville.
Say that again.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah.
Or was it
How do you
bupkis?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you
Both,
spell
yeah,
that? I don't
how do you
know.
spell bupkis?
That's a Jewish thing. So
No.
a Wednesday night in Hilton, I just found out from the guys that there were like 2 cars show up, and he charges like $5 a head. And then he used to be involved with the Millerage. And I understand they kicked him out, and the Millerage is very active now.
They are, yeah.
And they don't charge, just come, enjoy, and eat,
Yeah.
So
I'm not really a show guy. I never have been, but I like the cruise nights. I like the smaller ones. Like